Hello, hello, it's Tony again. I'm out here in a nice cool area. It's about 30 degrees out here. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, and nearby a pretty busy road. It's just off I-24 here in Nashville at Lane Motor Museum, as you can see right here behind me. And I'm gonna go through here. From what I gather, and they've got a really good website, they've got a lot of European cars. You don't see that a lot in American museums, so I'm gonna go through here and see what we can find. Let's knock and see if we can obtain entrance, because you're just entering the coolest line. Good news, I'm in. I'm gonna keep this mask handy just in case I get 6 feet from somebody, but I'm about, the closest person to me is about 50 feet, so I'm good. The first thing is you come in this museum, you see this one. This is called a trident. How is something that small even street legal? I mean, this thing is like, it's not very tall at all. Seating for two? Yeah, maybe two children. But I saw this one here too. This is one of the roadsters from 1938. This particular museum was started in 2002, so it hasn't been around all that long. But the collector's been collecting ever since he was a kid. I think he said he got his first car in, while he was 8 years old. So it's very interesting. It's a very nice collection. He just kept collecting, got some donated. They are a 501c3. Jerry Lane is the founder. They are a 501c3 organization. So that's pretty neat. Check out this one. Which end is the front? Actually, it's both of the front. This has got a steering wheel going that way and a steering wheel going that way. Luckily for us, all of these have a something like this that tells you all about the items. Let's see if you can see that. It's a 1952 Citroen. There's a lot of those in here. You see here behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and go over here to this other corner and try to outrun some people. That's a pretty nice one there. That's a Monza. Monza's a U.S. company. There's a lot of the Corvair is another popular one. They've got some Corvairs here I want to take a look at. A buddy of mine collects Corvairs, but they've got some Corvairs here. Corvair it's weird because it's very popular in overseas, but Chevrolet makes the Corvair. There's a lot of wood on this one. A whole lot of wood. This is a van that's actually made by Corvair. I don't even think they even produce these here in the States. And it says Corvair 95. It's an excellent shape. It's got boat controls here, but no steering wheel. So I'm sure they're just for looks. There is one here I'm going to find this. It's amphibious. You can go in the water with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Some of the newer ones are over in this area. Boy, that's a funny shape looking one. Look at that thing. I've never done a video inside of an automobile museum, so I'm going to get back by the Corvette Museum probably this summer, maybe in May, and give you some views of what the Corvette Museum looks like. I was there several years ago, and before they had a cave-in at the Corvette Museum. It's in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and the cave-in was a sinkhole, is what it was underneath. Kentucky's known for caves, but they had a sinkhole, and nice in it. And they lost I think 13 Corvettes fell down inside of it. 2 of them were totally damaged and bent up. They couldn't even recover them. This is a Renault Spider from 1998. Nice. These always intrigue me too. You definitely see these Citroens here in the U.S. automaker, but boy, it's a funky shaped looking car there, isn't it? Here's some more of your sport type racer cars. It's a Renault. That says Panhardt's 745cc. Look how short that is. And check out the shift lever. It's some kind of shift lever. I'm sure it shifts gears, but there's nothing in the center console. And also, I've noticed that these are all left-hand drives, which of course is what we drive here in the U.S. So far, I'm sure there's going to be some that will be right-hand drives. It's supposed to be the Citroen Experience. This looks like one of the first Baja racers here from 1983. The Visa. That there almost looks like a cab. Another Renault, I'm sure. A nice racer there. Almost looks like a Corvette the way it's shaped in the styling of it a little bit. And maybe this back here looks like the Nissan 300 a little bit. The front of it, pretty standard Ferrari intake. Intake is here. Goes it that way. Some carbon fiber pieces. Nice. Looks like it only sits about 3 inches off the ground. I mean, that's pretty low. Nice. Let's see what else we can find over here. This one is called the Lapland Agile. It looks kind of old, but it's really not. Not compared to cars for 1999. It's a canvas. It's got canvas tacked all over it. It's real unusual. Never seen anything like this. And it's got these big rocket looking things on the back. They're going to be fuel tanks. Definitely unusual. It's got a spare tire down here. It's definitely one of a kind. This doesn't like come from a factory or anything like this. Looks like it was done in the back of someone's yard. That's cool. It's different. Way different. What is this? Alligator mock something? Or I don't think it's real alligator just by the way it's changing colors. But it's the alligator pattern. Real unusual. This is a 1945 Searles Mobile. Look at this thing. That's some strange doors. They kind of like a roll top on both sides. They come down. Interesting. 124 inches. Electric doors. 2 built-in roller bars. Interesting. This side here is starting to get a little busy. There's a couple over here. It's pretty unusual. Check that out. Someone say red. Lots of red in that one. $1938. Charging T97. Okay, so here's your steering wheel on the right hand side. Huh. Interesting back there too. It's like it's got a secondary back. You close it off, but you still got a window. It's unusual. Pretty cool though. And this reminds me of the 1930s and 1940s with the big fenders and the bulb headlights. What kind of window was made? We're about to find out. But it's got the suicide doors. Not the suicide doors that go together, but they open from this side instead of that side. So this is from 1935. but it's smaller. It's not like the American cars. In most of your American cars, your 34 Fords, they're going to set about this high, not not down low. The top of this is only about 4.5 feet tall. It might be 5, but I doubt it. And again with the right-hand drive. Usual. Interesting. Stone 1000. This looks like a Mini Cooper, doesn't it? Sure it is. The Mini Coopers. This is actually the wagon. And this thing is short also, I'm talking. I mean, not a tall vehicle at all. It's all the Mini Travelers, 1967. Let me get it back over here on this side so you can see this. It's got National Guard stickers on the side. That's unusual, huh? Looks like you're trying to work on that engine. You gotta get through this thing here. And that's the front, not the back. 2005 Great Race, 87, Washington, D.C., Tacoma, Washington. 1934 McQuay Norris Streamliner. Interesting. Look at that thing. Looks more like a boat from here. Or an airplane. Airplane, maybe. And this is also the front of this vehicle, not the back. See, here's where the headlights would come out. American style, 1947 Daisy Divan. This is one of those ones that, if you're a Shriner, they have the main, I guess, officers are called the Divan line. So this would be perfect for them, right? Because it's actually called a Divan. This is called the Divan baby. Definitely wanted to show you this one here. This is one of the Amphibious, and you know it's an Amphibious car, not just by the way it's shaped, because it's kind of high, really high in the front and the back, but if you look around back, there's propellers. So yeah, it's completely amphibious. I brake for fish. It's funny. 1964 Amphicar 770. Interesting. You see the front of it. Really, the front of it does kind of look like a boat a little bit. It's got that V you see in a lot of boats. You see it's all totally sealed. It's nice. Very interesting. There is a Volkswagen Bug, but as you see, we see somebody still going down the road, so not much to look at there. It had this same shape and style. I don't know if they run this like 40 years or something, the same shape. So they went to the newer style. This is from 1956. German Beetle. You don't see very many of these tops. I don't think I've ever seen one of these kind of tops up close. It's in great shape. I mean, even all the rubbers here are in really good shape, and this is just mint. It's like it came off the factory floor. It really does. You can see the ivory on the, not really, maybe they're not ivory, but the buttons there on the radio. See how they're a little discolored? You can definitely tell that's original equipment. They also match the door handles because they've got a little discoloration with them too. Just that little piece right in there is a little discolored because it's old. I mean, it gets discolored as it gets old. You don't have to do anything to them. Really nice, mint condition. Looks great. I don't know what that thing is. We'll look at it in a little bit. This is probably the smallest van I've ever seen. This thing is tiny. It's like a tiny car. It's called 1973 Honda New Life van. When I say tiny, I mean it's short. It's got the opposite side drive. Really thin seats. Got a speaker system in it. Still see a lot of these in India. They've got a lot of short vehicles like this. Now, if any of you have watched, I forget what the show is, it's got Steve Urkel in it. He used to drive one of these. The unusual thing about this little thing is not only does it have one wheel in the back, it's essentially a motorcycle engine, but you would take the handle here, you turn the handle and open it up this way. So the whole front end and even the steering wheel will actually move with the front door. So you can get very easy getting in and out of once you do that. All you do is step in, turn and sit. You don't have to actually climb in anything. I think that's some loud colors to it. So it's pretty unusual. Now on down here they've got some, of course I'm not wearing a mask because as I'm going down this hallway, there's nobody down here but me. But they've got some scooters. If you like scooters, definitely come see some of these. It's pretty unusual. 1955. This one here looks like it's got a cooler under it. Or made from a cooler. I didn't see any Vespas, but I bet there's a Vespa down here somewhere. This actually says 1958 Innocent Lambretta. I thought it said Lamborghini there for a minute. There's your standard mini bike. I think I rode one of those as a kid. Something like that, something close to it. This one is pretty unusual. It's got the front wheel drive. Sahana Moto Comp. This one here was actually made in 2011. It's called the Yike bike, Y-I-K-E. And you sit on it facing that way and you put your hands to the side of you. And that's how it takes, you can see this looks like carbon fiber here. It takes a minute to get used to the balance and the way it steers. But once you get going on them, I hear they're pretty easy. And they'll also fold down when you hit the levers. They will fold down so they look like that. They're good for throwing in the back of your car or someplace, or if you're getting on a bus or something like that, they're a lot easier to transport. And because there's a handle right here, or should I say right here, so that once you do collapse it, you can still roll the wheel, so you don't have to pick it all the way up in order to tote it somewhere. You can just carry it like a regular wheel. That's like a motorcycle snowmobile mix. 2007. And 2000 Ducati 996. Nice bike. I've always liked that about the Ducatis is one of the things they do in a lot of them, they'll put their exhaust here instead of on the side so you don't burn your leg when you're going around corners or just sitting at a traffic light. So they put them up underneath here, and as you can see, there's no place, they don't put a seat up here for anybody else. This is a one-person bike. I don't want to lay down on that. This is unusual. I saw it from the other end. This is a 1998 McLean wheel. Exactly what it sounds like. It is a consistent wheel all the way around here. You see it's rubber going all the way around. When you sit on it like that, ride it like a motorcycle, you're almost sitting on the ground with it, aren't you? And they've got a video playing at the top about something else. Pretty interesting. Let's get out of this area. Unusual. And small. Another thing looks like a fish, doesn't it? Some weird looking fish. Merschmidt sounds German to me. This one does have the single wheel in the back. A nice picnic basket for Yogi. Yeah, single wheel is way down there at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Unusual. Real unusual. That thing there looks like a little bit of a boat. Called a Googomobile. All wood. Pretty interesting. Let's go through some of these bicycles and see what we can find. We've got a lot of bicycles in here. A lot of bicycles. I love these old bikes. I've always wanted to ride one of these big wheels. What's it called? A high wheel replica of 1870. So this isn't actually 1871, but it's a replica of one. I always wanted to ride one of those. I will one day, I promise you. And I'm gonna record it and put it on YouTube. I'm gonna ride one of those. We'll find someone who's got one. I'm gonna ride one. Some old Schwinn's 1955 Schwinn Hornet. The 5-speed. I used to have one something like this growing up. I had the big monkey hangers and the banana seat. I also had a what we call a sissy bar coming up about this high. And in mine, I had a shifter just like this one here. It was a 3-speed shifter. This is actually a 5-speed. The fenders and everything, just kind of like that one there. Again, my seat wasn't as high because I wasn't very tall, so my seat was down here. Yeah, I was 5'4" as a junior in high school till I finally shot up to 6 feet. So growing up, I was like one of the shortest kids in middle school, so I had the low seat. I actually rode this Schwinn like this one here in elementary school. Like these are almost like little clown bikes. I've seen like little clown bicycles like this, but they got a tall seat put on this one. Little bitty bike though. I mean, how big is that? It's not very big, is it? It's about 10 inches, maybe 12 inches from axle to axle. This one's a little bigger. The handles are a lot lower. It's really leaning forward to this, got like a little cushion there. And these are the same kind of thing. They're just taller. Nice. This next section here is some unusual cars, and some of them aren't even cars. They've got props on them as a means of propulsion. Airplanes of the world. There are some airplanes up top. You can see. Down below, there's some of these cars look like this, almost like go-karts. These, you can see the engine style. You can see some BMWs will put their cylinders on the side like this. She's driving down to a BMW, not cars, but the motorcycles will have an engine like this. It's a 1924 Auto Red Bug. Interesting. And they did tell me when I came in here, get as close as you want, just don't touch them. Or obviously sit in them, because I'd be touching them. You see the means of propulsion? It's got a prop on the back. So does that one. That's got a little bigger prop. This one here is strange. It's more like an airplane in a sense. It's got the prop on the front of it. So that's definitely unusual. You wouldn't think you'd see something like that in an auto museum or even something like this. I mean, they're not getting off the ground. There's no fins here. I guess you climb in this thing somehow. Yeah, I guess you did. That's all you do, just climb into. I thought there was a door on the other side, but there's not. The engine's right there in front too. There it is. That's a big wheel, isn't it? Workmanship is beautiful. Just how shiny that wood is. It's nice. Now these are sled cars. Same kind of thing. They got the prop in the back, but they're sleds, so they go across ice. Now, for a lot of these, all you need is about 2 inches of ice. Obviously, you don't want to stop, but that's less ice than you'd even want to walk on. But you can get on those because you just keep on going. Boy, they'll slide forever. There's some more here. Oh, ice boat rides, 50 cents. The 1915 Aero sled replicas, and this one here is called the Dragonfly Ice Sled. I like the fact that this museum, that they don't have a bunch of ropes that you gotta stand behind. You can't really get up close to them. I'm missing here. Heck, I can step over that without touching it. I'm not going to, but, and of course this one looks kind of rough. It looks like they used to use it for boat rides. But look how nice this one is. Just the workmanship in the wood. Everything's brand new. Everything's been redone and restored. Totally restored. Aero sled. I mean, everything about that engine looks like it's brand new. It's beautiful. Beautiful. This one here also. This is from 1924. It's a Heath Henderson ice sled. got the big fan, a propeller in the front. Is there really a propeller if it doesn't get off the ground? I guess, because I know that the ones, the boats that they have in Louisiana, don't they call those a fan? They don't call them a propeller. I got a video going here of one that I wonder if they're about to race across some ice. It looks like. See the prop. Interesting. The big wheel on the back of it. That's huge. Interesting. Bicycles. Motorized bicycles. Maybe your first motorcycles at the time. Here's another one. Got a big fan blade. A small gas tank on the top. Another motorized bike. Interesting. Let's look at this one here a little closer. This actually says Schwinn on it. It's a 1952 Schwinn Black Phantom. It said it's a McCulloch Target drone engine. It's a 1914 Aero powered bicycle. Kind of want to touch this thing. It looks like it's wood, but it could be a really hard leather. And this is the one that just showed the, we just saw the video on. It's here. Really interesting. It's got two wheels on it. One's probably to change the direction of the flats here, of your sleds, and the other one probably changes the direction of the blade here. Probably moves a little bit. Who knows? Interesting though. Got two gear shift knobs at the bottom too. These sleds are really nice. And here is essentially a canoe with a motor on it. Old Town Yankee. Old Town, of course, still makes canoes today. That one's from this is from 1944. He's got a changes the rudder. He's got a fire extinguisher on board. Well, they got it slicked up with some lacquer in there, don't they? That's shiny. Wicker seat. And again with the pistons going up off to the side. Interesting. Get over to the other side now. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. That was an awful long video, and it's a whole lot longer than most of my videos. But I really wanted to show you a lot of things about that museum. There was actually some that I didn't get put in there. Some of my videos didn't come out. There's actually a whole lot more cars than what I showed you. Some pretty interesting ones too. There were some that they have from outside in the parking lot that as you come into park, you could actually go look at for free if you wanted to. They're pretty interesting, military type stuff, and just some unusual ones. But if you liked it, be sure to like and subscribe to this video as always. And if you can, hit that little bell so you'll see the upcoming videos that I have. And be sure to send this to your friends who are car buffs. That'd be a good one. Well, y'all have a good day, and we will see you at the next video. Because we're just out here trying to live the coolest life.